Greetings, pod fans. Once again, it has been quite a while, and in the past, this is the point where I would appear on your YouTube screen saying I've figured out how to make easy content, and I will be able to make X amount of videos a week, a month, another, and then done it for a little bit, and before disappearing into the void once again. So instead of that, I'm going to explain why I think that has happened. Because at this stage, since I properly started making these in 2010, I have spent more time on hiatus than not on hiatus. So first, a little bit of background on me. I'm currently 31 years of age. For as long as I can remember, I've constantly picked up new hobbies, gotten super into them for a few months, and then lost all motivation to continue. As examples, we've got miniature painting, Pokemon card collecting, juggling, and of course, making videos. I would find issues focusing on schoolwork, work, and even fun activities unless I found a way to make it constantly interesting and constantly new and cool. I would forget things all of the time, but remember the most minute detail about something I did maybe like 10 years ago. Constantly, I would feel burnt out, unable to get out of bed, like there was a cloud in my brain blocking me from thinking. But then if I found a new project or fun activity, I would work in it for 10 hours straight and actually forget to eat. With all of these symptoms and all of that evidence, you know what I constantly landed on as the issue? I don't sleep enough. I don't eat well enough. I'm dehydrated. I thought I was interested in this thing, but turns out I'm just not. I'm interested in this other thing. And you know what? I would sleep more. I would eat better. I would drink more water, and I would do things that I know I'm interested in, like that I know that I care about. And nothing would change. Sure, might feel better for a week or two, but after that, I'm back to the same old slump, same old frustration. And then, last year, I started seeing a lot of relatable content on social media. You see, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter were all showing me ADHD content. That made me stop and say, that's how I feel I've been for my entire life. I've just never been able to put it into words. But I was skeptical, like very skeptical, because like I'd seen ADHD posts in the past and, I would have related to them, but I just kept thinking, that's not me. I've just been sleeping bad for over a decade. Did a little bit of research, did my own research, and I came across ADHDireland.ie, which has a really handy bullet point list that you can go through. I'll link it in the description. And while going through it, I found that I heavily related to 43 out of the 52 symptoms listed. But surely 86.2% doesn't mean anything, right? And at that point, I did the one thing that I've never done in the past and has held me back from so many things. I made a phone call. I got the number for a clinic near where I live, and I just asked how I might go about getting tested. I was then set up with a consultation with a psychologist to see if I would need a proper assessment or if I was just jumping to conclusions. And this is where it started to get a little bit frustrating or whatever, so I'm going to do my best to explain the timeline as things happen. So I made the call to the clinic on the 29th of March last year. Almost a year ago. My consultation was booked in for the 21st of April. I met the psychologist, told him about how I was feeling, why I thought it was ADHD, and how it was holding me back. And then he asked me a few questions just to get a better idea of me and, just elaborate on things that I might have forgotten to add and things like that. We then set up for a proper assessment as I seemed to fit the bill of someone who might have ADHD, and that was booked in for the 29th of May. So the 29th of March, the 21st of April, and the 29th of May. 2 months so far. I did the assessment and it had the most boring video game I've ever played. It's called the TOVA test if anyone is interested. And then there was a bunch of questions I needed to answer, which was on a scale of never, almost never, sometimes often a lot, something like that, rate between 1 and 5. On the lead up to that assessment, I had dreams that I would get some kind of answer that day, or it would be a week or something like that. But when I was leaving, I was told that it would be around 8 weeks before I would get my report. But there's no way it could take that long. It's got to be a yes or no thing. Yes, has ADHD. No, does not have ADHD. So, I thought that was worst case scenario, and it would be a week or two, and I'd get it sent, and it would be all good. On August 7th, I sent an email just to see if there were any updates, as at that point it had been 9 weeks since it, and I hadn't heard anything. I was as nice as I could, just asked, oh yeah, just wondering when I can expect results, but in reality I was dying of impatience. They replied, said it was in the finishing stages and would be sent as soon as it was done. Grand. Almost there. September 14th comes around. That's a month and a half after I sent that email. And I sent another one just to follow up and see, oh yeah, just checking in on this, see if there's, it's been in the finishing stages for a little while. I really want to just hear something. And then finally, on the 16th of September, I received a document. It is 28 pages long. And somewhere in the middle, it diagnosed me as having ADHD. As you might imagine, I skimmed the report because 28 pages of psychologist speak it's not light reading, and I have ADHD now, so I can say it's not an easy read for someone with attention issues. So you might think that we are all sorted. 5.5 months, we are done. Diagnosis is complete. Well, so in Ireland at least, you can only be prescribed ADHD medication by a psychiatrist, and you need to be referred to a psychiatrist by a psychologist. We've now done the psychologist part. Also, I just want to stop here for a second and mention that I was really interested in getting medicated for ADHD. It's not a requirement. A lot of people are able to manage their symptoms and stuff like that, but I've done the cognitive behavioral therapy, I've done other forms of therapy and stuff like that, but I am very skeptical about myself, and I felt that if I didn't have something physical, I was never going to feel like it was working. So yeah, I just want to stop there and say people who have ADHD don't necessarily need medication. It's not a requirement, but for me, I needed it to feel like I was getting better. So I call the clinic again and ask if I can meet a psychiatrist to discuss medication, and the date that I am given for that is the 10th of November. Please remember that we are in September at the moment, so is a big old jump again. So I managed to make it through that time, just concentrate on the date and put my head down and do things, and finally I meet the doctor. So we discuss everything, and he is happy for me to start on a low dose, where then we can meet after 4 weeks just to review and see how it's going. But before I got the prescription, I had to meet my general practitioner, my GP, just to check that my heart was okay, because the medication can increase your heart rate and stuff, so just would not be a great thing if I had any existing heart conditions or something. So it was just a little check. Called the GP. And it's 2 weeks before I can get an appointment. They're just busy, so grand, fine, let's just move the goalposts once again. Meet the GP, heart is fine, all good with the ticker. So finally, on the 30th of November, a full 8 months after my initial call, I've been medicated and everything is great. And it actually was, until we got to the end of the 4 weeks. So I had never felt so focused and on top of things. Things were going my way. I was doing well in work. I was just feeling good about things. So we get to the end of the prescription. I called them on the 7th of January, and I'm just yo, ready for my 4-week consultation. Just finished my prescription. When can we do that? And they told me the 21st of February, a month and a half away. So I called on a Saturday, which was the last day of the meds. I just waited until the end, and by Monday, I was absolutely ready to cry. I felt like I'd made so much progress and was so productive for those 4 weeks, and just to be off of them for more than that, 4 weeks on medication, a month and a half off while I wait to tell someone that I was feeling good on the medication, it was very disheartening. So on that Monday, I just emailed the clinic out of sadness to be hey, while I'm waiting for that, can I please just get a top up on my prescription and just get the same between now and then? And they actually did it. It was such a relief to get the email back being yeah, we're sending that on to your pharmacy now. You can just pick that up. Oh, so good. So on the 21st of February, I had that meeting. It went well. It was just, checking in, see how I'm feeling. I have no adverse effects, which is great. I've been feeling good on it. So medication has been upped again. We're meeting again 8 weeks after that. So it's good. It's very good. It was a very long journey, like from the 29th of March to like the 30th of November when I finally got the medication. But it's good. Very productive, very cool. Finally at the age of 31, I started taking medication for something that has been like plaguing me my entire life. So that was cool. But yeah, that is my story so far. Bit of a long journey, but I am very happy I did it. I might do a follow-up video at some stage just to go into more detail about how I'm feeling about it, what is going on, what's the thing, and if I would recommend going through the process. Because there's a little bit there, like money-wise and time-wise, and all of that, and probably just doesn't suit everyone, especially if you're not sure about if you have it. But yeah, for me, it was definitely a case of I have just not felt good for a very long time, and my lack of focus and my lack of like being able to think and focus on things is really just like ruining my life. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, I've rambled for quite a little while. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, hope maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll make more videos now that I am medicated and I'm like, focused and able to do things. But it's cool. I really wish I had gotten this done when I was younger, but hindsight is always 20/20. But looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a great day. It is currently about 8:30 in the morning. And I'm hoping that the sound on this is okay because I recorded this once already and it wasn't. Yay! But yeah, have a nice day. Have a nice week. Live your life. Don't lose your way. Slán.